first time the western side of the median line dividing mainland China and Taiwan. China has lashed back by describing the move as extremely dangerous, and vowing to defend its interests and claims in the area, including the eventual integration of Taiwan with the mainland. Although the move was consistent with international law since it was well beyond China's 12 nautical miles territorial sea, it represented a direct challenge to Beijing's opposition to any foreign military presence in its 200 nautical miles exclusive economic zone. It also coincided with reports of a U.S. surveillance aircraft, U.S. Navy Lockheed EP-3E Ares II, making a rare visit to Taiwan following a major bilateral defense deal and an unprecedented visit by an American cabinet official to the self-governed island. In response to China's rising incursions in Japan-claimed waters, the U.S. has also deployed stealth bombers for major exercises in the Sea of Japan in a show of support to another key regional ally. Referring to America's expanding naval presence in its adjacent waters and burgeoning defense ties with Taiwan, which Beijing considers a renegade province, China has recently described its superpower rivals' actions as a real threat to peace. Senior Colonel Zhang Chunli, spokesman for the People's Liberation Army (PLA) Eastern Theater Command, warned the U.S. actions will embolden forces supporting Taiwan independence, and, accordingly, raise the risk of armed confrontation. We sternly warn related parties that any statement and act that sabotages the One China principle and stirs up trouble in the Taiwan Straits does not fit the fundamental interests of China and the U.S., and damages the well-being of compatriots on both sides of the Taiwan Straits, as it brings a real threat to peace and stability in the region, which is very dangerous, warned the Chinese commander. The U.S. has conducted at least 10 naval deployments across the Taiwan Straits so far this year, underscoring Washington's commitment to preventing any Chinese unilateral action against Taipei. Last month, Senior Colonel Ren Guodang, another top Chinese military official, warned the U.S. against attempts to contain China with Taiwan and interfere in China's internal affairs and undermine peace and stability across the Taiwan Strait. They are completely wrong and extremely dangerous, said the Chinese official, warning, the U.S. should realize that China must and will be reunified, and the great rejuvenation of the Chinese nation must and will be achieved. The U.S. Indo-Pacific Command, however, has quickly dismissed China's accusations, maintaining that its deployments are consistent with international law and its free and open Indo-Pacific (FOIP) strategic doctrine. Arleigh Burke-class guided missile destroyer USS Mustin DDG-89 conducted a routine Taiwan Strait transit on August 18 in accordance with international law, said a statement by U.S. 7th Fleet, which primarily operates in the hotly contested South China Sea. The ship's transit through the Taiwan Strait demonstrates the U.S. commitment to a free and open Indo-Pacific. The U.S. Navy will continue to fly, sail and operate anywhere international law allows. The U.S. destroyer passed through China's waters following military exercises with Japanese maritime self-defense forces. During its exercises with Japan, the U.S. deployed 4 B-1 Lancers, 4 F-15C Eagles and 2 B-2 Spirit stealth bombers, underscoring growing coordination with allies in both air and naval interoperability and joint operations as China expands its own drills and military footprint in East and South China Seas. The American aerial assets were deployed from Anderson Air Force Base in nearby Guam and Dyess Air Force Base in Texas. The U.S. Pacific Air Forces maintained that it routinely conducts bomber task force operations to show the United States' commitment to allies and partners in the Indo-Pacific area of responsibility. There are growing indications that the U.S. ramped-up aerial and naval deployments reflect growing bipartisan consensus in Washington, a trend that will likely continue regardless of who becomes America's next leader after November elections. A report released by the Washington-based Congressional Research Service on August 6 warned that China is gaining effective control of the South China Sea, an area of strategic, political, and economic importance to the United States and its allies and partners.